that has started the multi-sector approach. I think that's a great initiative and part of our work. I want the ministry, the people, everybody involved with a lot of secretaries and groups there. I think without your involvement and without your support, I don't think it's a possibility. Me personally, because of my cricketing background, I didn't have this opportunity to thank the government of Nepal, especially because we wanted our coach back, and the government managed to get our coach back. So if the government wants the same over this issue as well, I think the government can create a huge difference. And we want, like you said, the multi-sector approach says that the golden 1,000 days is the period where it concerns sanitation, nutrition, it concerns like every one of us. It's not just we people in this room we're talking about the whole country. And India, like Aamir said, it's like about 48%, and we are like 41%. But then we also have to consider the fact that we are not that hugely populated country compared to India. But still, over the period of time, we have managed to cut down the ratio. But I feel that we can still cut it down more. So with this approach, I would like to request everyone to please join hands. I think together we can bring about a change, and hopefully, we'll measure this, like I said before, over a period of time and get it done, and hopefully there will be no malnutrition anymore in Asia. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Khadka. Very encouraging words from somebody so young, with a lot of wisdom. We are very proud to have this young generation who is so well into issues and is aware about issues of our concern, and the government is very committed. That is why all of us are trying to work together to tackle this issue of malnutrition. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for none other than Mr. Aamir Khan to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here today. I think malnutrition is an issue that concerns all of us, and which is why we are all here today. I think the intricacies of this problem vis-a-vis the country of Nepal would be better understood by the people here in this room who have probably much more information than I do on the ground realities in Nepal. What I would like to communicate is just a few very basic things, and that is that as an issue, it's probably one of the most fundamental issues that any society faces. If 41% of our children in Nepal are malnutrition, that's a huge percentage of young children who in 15-20 years will be the youth of the country. And the youth of the country at any given point of time should be healthy mentally, physically, and in every way, emotionally as well. So if we want the future of Nepal to be healthy and bright, then the investment towards that has to begin at birth. The investment towards that has to begin from the time that the child is conceived in the womb of the mother. And as studies have shown us, these are the 2 years which are critical in creating the potential of the child in the years to come. These are the 2 years. This is the window in which you can, the difference between the child being well nourished and not well nourished. And there are certain things in the child which, if in the first 2 years are not attended to, then it is almost impossible to rectify. So these 2 years become critical and crucial. Now, if any society has to achieve this, then 2 things become extremely important. And one of them is, of course, that the large, length and breadth of the country, the population of the country should be aware of what are the fundamentals, what are the basics of good nutrition. So that is one aspect of it. So one aspect of it is information, how we inform our population. What are the basics that need to be done? And the other is, having informed them, there is a huge percentage of people out there who probably, with that information, cannot act upon it. Because they simply don't have the means to. They simply don't have the means to act on it. So that is where I think governance comes into play, that is where administration comes into play, and that is where people who have means, who are well off, who are more privileged, that is where their work kicks in. I think that it is extremely important for us as a society, if you want to invest in the future of our society, to invest in this, even if it is, I'm saying, hardcore money, hardcore economical investment in the future of our children. So, providing the right kind of nutrition, making sure that you have a network of volunteers across the country, a network of volunteers who is extremely motivated and who are valued very highly, because they are the people who are your foot soldiers who are going to fight this battle for you. So creating that network of people across the country, making sure that they're happy and motivated right through is a very important aspect of it. If that is the first step, the second step is to make sure that as a society, as a government, you make sure that you allocate enough funds so that when a woman is pregnant, she conceives a baby, she's not in a position to provide nutrition for herself and her baby, then the government steps in and does that for her. So these are the basic steps that you need to take for any society, whether it's Nepal, whether it's India, or any other society. So I think that, as people who are part of government, as people who are part of the planning commission, if this is something that you can devote your minds and attention to, I'm quite sure this is an issue that you all will be able to tackle and successfully battle against with the right kind of commitment. I wish you all the very best, and I'm very much with you in this battle. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. Very encouraging words. And yes, we in Nepal do look forward to your contribution, whatever you can do in your capacity, to help Nepal overcome this issue of malnutrition. Though the government is very committed, we have our territory partners, UN agencies, donor agencies who are supporting the government take this initiative forward. But since you are like a star in this region and also in Nepal, because even a show like Satyadev Jayante, sorry. So that is what happens when a person like Aamir Khan is sitting over here, Anyway, I'm sorry to have made you blush like this, but I'm sure you are used to such compliments. And now to take our event forward, I would like to request Mr. Shanta Bahadur Shrestha, who is the Secretary of Ministry of Health and Population, for a brief information on the launch